of LGD versus VGR.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the lower bracket. It is VG Gaming Reborn versus LGD, game number 2. LGD taking game number 1 pretty handedly. My name is Mott. With me is LD. We're just going to jump right into the game. Let's go.
VG Gaming Reborn versus LGD Gaming.
So it is the last pick Huskar coming out, LD, for the side of LGD. There's no counter from the AA. That is a great pick for LGD. They have the Dazzle already ready to go. This is a strat we've seen time and time again.
Well, yeah, again, teams, analysts, I think fairly so coming into the main event. We're saying LGD seems a little one-dimensional. They're picking the same strategy. Now 2 games in a row, Travis, they've busted something out totally off the wall, and I love the way they picked it. They save it for the 5th pick, which is generally where you see the Huskar come out. And most importantly, they didn't ban AA, but they already knew VGR had their support duo. So you can't pick AA there. All-Flame Elder Titan is just not a thing right now. And maybe they try to run it, because it looks like Yang is actually going to start in the jungle. But this hero needs a lot of levels and often will struggle to get them. Yeah. So I think for me, that's the big question mark with the VGR draft is, will Elder Titan have an impact this game? Because we've seen some games, I know you've cast a lot of him in the North American scene where he's been very successful. DC and Call started running him quite a bit, but there's been a lot of airball performances from Elder Titans as well.
It really comes down to, like you said, you need to find those levels, and you need to be effective. You can't just sit on level 1 or 2 forever. You need natural order. You need your points up and stomp as well. The damage is insane. So if he's just walking around mid, not finding the experience, it is just... he becomes an albatross around VGR's necks. It becomes a big issue for them. And on top of that, they already have the greedy Alchemist pickup like we saw last game. They have the Slurk in the safe lane, so finding farming experience for said Elder Titan is going to be a little bit more difficult. And LGD, they get the Ember Spirit, they get it for Maybe. They have Aggressive and Maybe that can play this hero. He is so strong on this Ember Spirit.
Yeah, he does start off mid. Obviously, you need to keep in mind you're up against the Spirit Bros here. Sep already rolling in mid. First one's a miss, but as much as anything, this isn't even about winning the lane outright and, you know, killing No-No. It's more about, yeah, a little bit of pressure, but also keeping the Elder Titan busy. He's got a lot of jobs to do here. He's trying to slow down Xiao 8 in the jungle. He's also trying to deal with that pressure and that roam towards mid. You can already see Sep is going to be hunting for the Axe. Wants to find out where he is. Sep's off in the jungle. Doesn't see him, but they pretty much know at this point Yang is just straight jungling as the Axe.
Yeah, he has the Iron Talon right now. He's sitting almost at level 2. Yang should have a pretty good time, assuming that they don't find him in the jungle. Seth doesn't rotate in, and they can keep him safe. Maybe even get some stacks up for himself, and maybe for the Alchemist as well. That's the problem, though. If the Axe is in the jungle, then the Alchemist is not taking stacks. Sure, he has the Ancient Stack to work with, but that is one problem, so that may actually limit No-No's farm. Although he isn't doing particularly bad in this lane. It's 6-6 right now. This is not a difficult lane for No-No at this point in time, especially with the Acid Spray being leveled up at this point.
I like this play from Sep. You often have to play the Sacrificial Lamb as our Spirit nowadays if you don't get the early kills. And keeps tabs here on Yang. He confirms that there's some jungling going on. DDC's there, but only level 1, so can't even go for a glimpse back play. It's not really going to slow down the Axe too much, but now they know the full VGR laning setup. They have an idea where their supports are, so they can feel very confident now that it's free farm on Huskar. This will be an incredibly fast armlet. I don't feel they have great counters against Huskar by any means. So top rune though.
They're rolling Boulder in onto DDC. Just some right click coming out from Sep, and DDC getting slowed down as well. They have FY rotating in. He should have his Spirit ready to go, but that's not really going to do that much damage. He's level 2. He has to stomp up as well. He's going to go with the Staple Gun now, and Sep is actually getting pretty low. The illusions actually block him. Rolling Boulder only into Xiao 8, and DDC gets first blood. Xiao 8 actually kills his teammate by blocking him in there.
Don't sleep on the Elder Titan. Man, that damage is insane. He's only level 2. Oh, that was big. And something they needed, because this is a roaming, like not even laning Elder Titan. You see Maybe diving in mid. Wanted to get the chains on No-No. Isn't going to, but if they're not getting kills, they're in a world of hurt. Disruptor going to suicide to neutrals here. He'll get the free TP. And they're farming well on the Axe in the jungle, as you would expect. Slark doing pretty well in the safe lane, out getting decent CS. As far as the bounty runes go, though, those have both been grabbed thus far by LGD. So another outgame where VG Gaming Reborn are not securing bounty runes. They may try to later on, but you can see LGD, they have seen what an unchecked Alchemist can do. We saw that from one of the MVP series previously, where I think QO lost his lane horribly, got 6 bounty runs in a row, and suddenly was the most farmed hero on the map.
Maybe he will try to be aggressive. The rolling boulder will come through. He needs a boulder smash. He needs his right click as well, but they can't get enough damage to kill him under the tower. If that rolling boulder hits, then they get the job done, I think. But in that situation, they just miss a little bit from Sep on that the Earth Spirit, excuse me.
Yeah, that was big. And still aggressive, just totally free farming here. He's already grabbed the gloves of haste. We've seen MMY getting good levels, hitting 3 and change. So we will see a very relatively farmed Dazzle this game, at least at the start. FY and DDC, though, doing a pretty good job in their own right point. And now that lane's pushing in, we'll see the TP to bottom. So VG Gaming Reborn, they're kind of running this like the Jungle Beastmaster, where they just want to have the experience advantage with that jungling. I won't call the X really a support because he's getting a lot of farm, but effectively he's filling that 4 position role.
Yeah, he's done very well. He's level 5 already at 3 minutes. He's going to have 6 at 4 minutes into the game, LD. That is huge. He can walk out, maybe look for a call into a Culling Blade, maybe waits a little bit longer for the Blink Dagger, but still, he is having a fantastic start and getting a couple of stacks with it as well.
Yeah, that was another missed rolling boulder in the mid lane, a very short one from Sep. Has had some fantastic Earth Spirit showings, but this is not his best start here, and it's a lot of wasted time for him. It is slightly slowing down the Alchemist, but he's still even with the Ember on CS, all things considered. And maybe often wins even seemingly even matchups 1v1. So to be even with this 2v1 lane is pretty good for him.
Yeah, I do want to talk about the Earth Spirit. We talked about the Elder Titan and how much he needs levels. It's the same thing for an Earth Spirit who's still at level 2 right now. He's missed his rolling boulders. A kill would have gotten him at least enough experience to get 2.5. And he's still struggling. He's walking around all over the place. He's trying to accomplish a lot of jobs like the Elder Titan is doing. He's trying to find the axe in the jungle. He's trying to ward. He's looking for kills on mid. He's not finding anything here, and he needs experience. And he'll get that top lane as now it looks like Shawit has rotated back down, and he's going to heal up and towards the well.
Buys the infused raindrops. He has the TP as well. But our Spirit's still just barely level 2 at this stage. Your Elder Titan, almost level 4 for FY, and meanwhile DDC, level 3 closing in on 4. So the support duo so far for VG Gaming Reborn, despite looking a bit awkward in the laning stage, that one kill has really opened up the map.
I feel like this is just a really good laning phase for VG Gaming Reborn. What do LGD need to do? They need to get maybe 6 on the Tidehunter?
So for them, there's a couple of key things. It's basically just getting Ember up to level 8 or 9 or so, where he can really be an impact hero around the map. Does have his level 6 at this time, but so too does No, goes into Chemical Rage. Getting the Tidehunter Ravage. Oh, there's a glimpse back.
All immediately, and they catch it. There's the Culling Blade. They chop him down. They set that up perfectly, and so No.
Well, Disruptor has been a stock rising hero for a couple of months now, and we saw MMY's just immaculate Disruptor last game. DDC showing off here early. That's 2 kills he's been in on already. But yeah, so the key things are Ember just getting levels, Tidehunter getting Ravage, and the Armlet on Huskar. At that point, expect to see LGD at least go for a smoke play of some kind, try and find a pick-off. Ideally, they'd love to take down the tier 1 bottom. That would potentially open up a Roshan. You have Dazzle Huskar, very good at fighting around the pit, but it's really hard against an Elder Titan who his levels, Travis. He's so good at stalling around Roshan.
Yeah.
And there's Acid Spray as well. Like, you go in there, you're just constantly taking damage.
You hit a stomp or a call, that's immediately going to be an Earth Splitter coming out, or some form of damage from VGR that is going to be devastating. It's tough to fight into for LGD. We haven't seen Aggressive come to any of these engagements yet, and he will be the big factor, I think, for LGD, along with the Ember Spirit when he gets some levels in farm. But VGR, they're looking pretty poised to take this early game. They might look for another gank with that glimpse back in with Disruptor. They might just keep farming for Nono, and we talked about what he could do. We talked about Nono's Alchemist at length last game. Him getting farm. He has the medallion now. What do you think about that build?
Their dire side, obviously.
Oh, that Shadow Wave!
Jesus!
Well, forget about that. He's just dead. So
yeah, I think he just used the medallion offensively there, and he eats the heal bomb. But as far as the medallion goes, this to me is about being able to fight early as well as potentially take Roshan. It does help you also dealing with the Huskar, who builds Armlet, so basically will negate that bonus armor from the Armlet as there's a roll on FY, doesn't connect. Again, a miss from Sep, but he gets the Boulder Smash follow-up. Can they kill FY off?
They already used the Shadow Wave, and he's fine. He did take some damage from it, but he was able to TP out just in time. Actually, plenty of time left in order for him to get away from that gank. So the Rolling Boulder really needs it to hit, I feel like, for them to secure these kills. And they've missed like 3 or 4 of them, it feels like.
I think it's at least 4. Yeah, I don't know if he's hit one yet. Sep is having a real off game here, but it's also credit to VGR. This hero has been seen a lot in pubs. They played a lot against it, and at this point, it seems like they're pretty comfortable dealing with the pokes.
Shawit is level 6 now. He has the infused raindrops, as you've talked about. So with Ravage ready to go, they might look for a smoke of their own. Meanwhile, top rune spot, you can see the Ember Spirit is getting crowded and has zoned out pretty heavily.
Give this man a bounty rune. Come on, Ice Frog.
Yeah,
he did get the last one, actually.
He gets an invis. He got the arcane last time in the last game.
I just can't get over seeing that QO game where he got 6 bounty runes in a row after getting first blood. It was getting no CS at all, and had like a 13-minute radius.
It's kind of absurd.
In comparison, No isn't getting as much help from his team to secure the runes and not having the best RNG when he does.
He's got the acid spray, only one stack here at the Ancients with the regular creep camp as well, so he will get up in terms of CS. One hero we haven't talked about is the Slark, and he's top in net worth currently.
Slark having a really good time. Silver Edge is definitely your item this game. You're up against the Huskar. That's just a given.
Yep.
And that's like I would say a pseudo counter to the Huskar. If you see the Slark coming in, you can often just initiate on him. They have Tidehunter who could potentially set up a kill with Ravage. But later on in the game, BKB Silver Edge Slark, he could just run at the Huskar. And if he gets like a Basher, some physical DPS, I think they can deal with Huskar. But that's looking later. And there will be this window where Armlet's online, Dazzle sits behind Aggressive, LGD will look to slow siege towers, and Vici Gaming Reborn may just have to give some up and go for split push and stall the game.
And like you said, that Armlet's there, so they can afford to be aggressive. Now that they bring in Xiaowei, the threat of the Ravage is very strong, so in order for VGR to defend this, they would have to commit a lot, and I don't think they want to in this scenario. The Axe is very close to the Blink, however. He's up to 2,000 gold right now, almost 2,200, so that Blink Dagger might be online, and then a Blink call onto 3 to 4 to even 5 heroes would be huge. Maybe going in, gets off the Remnant Searing Chains, flips back, there's the kinetic field, they get off the rolling boulder, this time it hits on it, twice, Ravage comes through, it's on it too, and it's a double kill for Xiaowei, nicely done.
Yeah, one of those Ravages where it may not have been entirely needed to get both kills, but I like the full commitment there from LGD. They know this is the window where they need to be aggressively moving for objectives before the Axe Blink comes online, before the Slark completes the Shadow Blade. Vici Gaming Reborn in a bit of a weak spot as far as the power spikes go. Even Alchemist, yeah, he gets the medallion early here, but this is not where the hero is scary. It's when if you go for the full Armlet Solar Crest, then he starts to be a very tanky force in fights. If you go back for the Radiance, then it's really after your next item. So VGR, they just have to play cautiously when those big cooldowns are ready from LGD, and it'll be LGD. Kind of similar to last game, they had a much more start in the laning stage, but they're the team that wants to be applying pressure come the 10 to 20 minute mark.
They're okay with farming as well with the Ember Spirit. He's right now sitting behind the Axe at this point. Obviously not having the best start, but still okay. He's sitting at 1,100 gold. He's sitting on a Wraithband, and Akil will be coming out soon. He's got boots, which will be into boss here pretty soon. And they could just wait for that Ravage to be up. They can continue to pressure with the Huskar if they want, but for now, VGR are getting room to work with. They're getting free farm in their Slark. He's up to top of the net worth. The Alchemist is starting to build into that very strong build with the treads into the medallion, to the Solar Crest later on down the road. So VGR are getting prepared for later into this game.
Yeah, for LGD, Mech is coming on the Tidehunter. The big thing that they are lacking is Seps level 6. Didn't have the best early start. Finally hit one of his first rolling boulders there in the mid lane, and he does close in on level 6 because of that. So his level 6, the Mech, I think outside of that, just basically whatever Aggressive gets is fine. And then levels on the Dazzle. These are the three big next things LGD will be working on. But as every time Ravage is up, expect them to be pushing for towers, going for Roshan, taking big objectives. And for VGR, more of the stalling game, the spread offense, trying to find pickoffs with the Axe, buying space for the Alchemist, and potentially moving End around to find kills as the Shadow Blade is now arriving.
And on the other side, Xiaowei, like you talked about, getting that mech, he goes for this first instead of the Blink Dagger. He has a big Ancient stack. He'll clear most of this out. LGD do smoke up. They're going to head down towards the bottom area of the map into that lane. Another smoke coming out on the top side through from VGR. They have the Axe in front with the Blink. Will they be able to find the Tidehunter mid? And is that the hero they really want to go for?
Xiaowei has that deep ward that Sepp got down. And sure, maybe he didn't hit the most rolling boulders, but he has planted some good wards. One got dewarded, but one stays up in the Radiant jungle. So as a result, Xiaowei seeing nobody farming really in the woods.
Titan getting caught. Looks like they'll just find an easy kill. They had that smoke up. They ran aggressively towards that tier 1 tower, and maybe in aggressive were able to find that jump.
Yeah, they know where it's safe to dive because of that ward in the Dire jungle. So LGD playing this one really calmly for now. Still though, Vici Gaming Reborn farming well. They've been ahead all game, but LGD are going to start racking up objectives. I'm not really sure VGR can fight into them at this stage, Maud. They are looking a bit outgunned as far as the big items go.
I think they're going to try. They have this Blink on Yang. They have Static Storm on top of it. End's coming with his Shadow Blade. He's going to get Vision first and foremost. Sentry Ward, it looks like it's not there. MMY is going to be last to leave. The Boulder Smash coming through. End's not going on anybody just yet. They're looking for it. They wrap around Ravage onto 3. They get off the Anchor Smash as well. Static Storm coming through. Yang's low. Gets the call off, but will die in the end.
No, trying to counter-initiate. He gets the stun. It's only on Seth with the Acid Spray. Not even enough for a single kill. A 2 for 1. But Xiaowei dropping low to this. Can they finish off that pesky Tidehunter? They can't, but they brought down 3, and Xiaowei may eventually fall Glips back, make it 4 if he can't juke his way out of this one. Gives up the Anchor Smash, it's not enough. he too drops, and on the far end of the fight, they did manage to kill off the Huskar as well, and just bypassed everyone.
Yeah.
LGD did not bodyguard the back lines. Generally, you'll see the Tide protecting the support, sticking with the team, but they saw an opening to jump through with Ravage. Yeah, they get a kill there on the Axe, but they don't protect the Dazzle. The Huskar gets jumped early by the Slark, and they end up losing that Huskar. That's the hero that needs to stay alive in the fight.
That Slark just went to work at the end of that fight. You could see it. The amount of damage he pumped out in that engagement was absurd. The Axe, they didn't even need him. And so that you have to wonder what type of initiation VGR can get if they get a call on top of all of that. If they can keep those heroes alive, they were very low in health from a VGR standpoint once that Ravage as well as the Flame Guard and Searing Chains came through. So they continue to stay top of the net worth, and now even the Slark gets further ahead at this point with 7.3K, and he's going to be going for the Echo Saber first before he gets that Silver Edge. LD.
Yeah, I really like the way the Alk is itemizing this game. They know LGD are going to be pushing the tempo, playing aggressive, mostly 5-man Dota, and speaking of which, they're already at it again. Maybe's out in front.
They're looking for that Searing Chains to start things off. The Sleight of Fist first. Rolling Boulder is going to connect on Simple Concoction. They push him back, and he's got the Chemical Rage going. Good call, counter initiation on it too. The Static Storm on top. Sepp and aggressive are low. Sepp will fall first. Still, it is a 1-for-1 trade. They get off the grave, and here comes that Slark, but look at the damage. Gets off the Shadow Dance. The Calling Blade comes through. They take down aggressive.
Chasing for DDC. Maybe wants a bit more aggressive on the Huskar. Kills the Slark from beyond the grave, but maybe cleans up the backlines this time. And they did that without a Ravage. So first it's VG Gaming Reborn's turn to win a fight without Axe contributing. This time LGD coming out on top without a Ravage. Very odd game, but it's one of those fights where even when you kill Huskar, if he's dumping damage in your team while Grave for the entire duration of a Grave, you're going to be in trouble anyway. And they ran back in to kill him, but it was after the Grave end, and that just buys a lot of time for Ember to do his thing. So LGD, cruise control for now. They have Ravage back up, the mech ready to go, the whole team's bottom. They're looking once more for big, juicy objectives.
VGR thought that was a bad fight or a hard fight. It's going to get a lot harder fighting into that Ravage, that mech as well. Without Static Storm available, the Tier 1 will surely go down in LGD's favor. LGD continue to pressure. They'll back up for now. Almost a Blink Dagger for Showit if he wants. He's got 1,800 gold after the last couple of engagements. That's a huge pickup for the Tidehunter right now.
Well, VG Gaming Reborn losing that tower means less access to the Roshan pit. They do have level 3 Acid Spray on No-No. He's already bought a Radiance recipe, so he's going to go back for it. Unfortunately, despite buying the Solar Crest, does die. You get this item early, it's to ensure that you're winning fights and not giving up too many kills. Is that why? Pokes his head out here, but maybe he's going to catch him.
Sleight of Fist Searing Chains, the stomp will come through. Cancelled by the Boulder Smash. Geomagnetic Grip, and maybe comes up and cleans house as well.
Good job there by LGD, finding another pick. They're not the fastest Roche lineup. Even though Huskar can do it, they don't really have much in the way of minus armor, just the Gush. So it's not like that Slardar draft we saw last game, where Slardar Ursa, you can just instantly go into the pit, even when all 5 are alive.
He does have the lifesteal, but it will take a long time for LGD to bring that down. The Elder Titan will be back up by the time they got it, maybe even to half HP. So LGD will not look towards Roshan. Instead, they'll go back to farming, try to get towards that Battle Fury from Maybe. That is a huge item. He's sitting on Perseverance right now. Gold-wise, sitting on 550, not to mention the Coin
And
Blade.
is hunting here. He's got backup incoming, smoked on VGR down in the river. They're trying to set up a pincer attack on the Axe, or on the Ember, but he's already backed away.
Good vision from VGR to find that Ubercliff wards. They actually see the rotations from LGD towards that top lane. They know there are a lot of heroes there. Instead, they'll make their way towards bottom. Looks like they want to go for an objective, either Roche or that Tier 1 tower bottom.
They do Roche quite a bit quicker here with the Acid Spray, potentially the Solar Crest. It's a little dangerous, though. LGD do have Ravage online. And a Blink on Xiao Wei. If LGD suspect this, they are going to come marching in, but there's no Radiant Vision mod. They're actually pushing the top side of the map, and Tier 1 for Roche is a wonderful trade for VGR.
Yeah, they will take that any day of the week, and right now, it doesn't look like they know. LGD, they're just going to continue to farm.
At this point with the pit dark, nobody's showing on the map. You only see an Elder Titan bottom.
Yeah.
They probably do know, just deciding they can't fight into the pit or it's not worth the risk. Maybe closing in on the Battle Fury, doesn't have it yet, but I still think overall VGR are quite happy with this.
Yeah, they're going to get the Aegis up. They'll probably give it more than likely to the Slark. He'll grab it, and he has that Echo Saber now on top of the Shadow Blade. So, like you talked about, Silver Edge is a necessity in this game, I believe.
Yeah, probably his next item. Maybe gets a BKB first, just to avoid having to deal with the Ravage in fights. Because a good Ravage into like the silence coming out from the Earth Spirit could potentially kill him, but once he gets BKB, End is pretty much immortal. But to me, those are the two big items right now. BKB, Silver Edge, or maybe a Scotty just to tank up. But they're moving in, trying to catch him out. He's already gone under cover of Shadowblade.
Blink has been revealed by Xiao. He blink gushes. Now the rolling boulder. FY dodges it nicely. It's actually too far away, but the searing chains. FY will be left to his own devices. The magnetize even used to get that kill.
That's a tactical death there. They get the tower. The last hit goes to End. He doesn't die. He moves right to mid. You're totally fine with that if you're VGR.
Yeah. LGD still grouped up as 5. They have Ravage. So there is that threat if they decide to push in. But again, there is that Aegis up on VGR as well. They can fight this now, I think, with Aegis, with another item coming through with the Alchemist here pretty soon on top of that.
So End grabbing the ultimate orb, very likely Silver Edge next. And then it's going to come down to armlet toggling as well as the grave timing for MMY to see if Aggressive will stay alive in these fights. Not a hero that LGD are known for running a whole lot, but something they'll need to execute well. Late game Slark is going to be also very difficult to deal with for LGD. Like, looking at their draft, very little AoE, some decent man fight, but I don't see Huskar on his own out fighting a Slark late game. You have Tidehunter who can be dealt with by a well-timed BKB or even Dark Pact, so there'll need to be good execution here down the stretch from LGD.
There is a Sange for Aggressive, by the way, so are you thinking more towards Halberd for Huskar in this game?
Yeah, probably Halberd, I would say.
Back together right now. They get the tier 2 tower, so VGR, they just don't want to fight just yet. The Alchemist is not quite at his strongest, but that'll be a while. He has the ratings now completed up and ready to go.
It's, again, developing into a game where there's a ticking... Oh, Slark hunting for Xiao 8.
He's going to get caught. There's going to be the Silver Edge coming through. Look at that damage. Dark Pact, they get the call off. The Calling Blade will be there in time from Yang. No Ravage to counter-initiate, down for 46 seconds.
They're hunting for more.
They're looking. They're trying to find anybody they can.
This is where Slark is king when he just finds these heroes on their own. Diving deep, they're going to get Sep as well. A double chop. Easy kills, raking in for Yang, and they stream on towards mid. They're going to take a tier 1 here, very likely.
Yep. Sitting nearby was the Huskar. He says, I'm out of here. He's got good vision.
MMY, he thought he was safe. He's not. Meet your end, my friend. He goes for the TP out. That ain't going to happen, says Yang. It's a triple.
It's been a while since we saw the Calling Blade through the grave, I feel like, but it is back, and now they will take an Ancient stack as well for good measure. Look at this. There's a giant one here. Yang was looking for it.
Disastrous sequence of events for LGD. It's one thing if VGR sneak a Roshan, you take a tower as a trade, you're finding slightly more kills, but now they're stealing the Ancient stack
This is huge for VGR. Look at this. No is going to get so much gold out of this.
They just hit the kill switch. LGD, they're running a timing-based draft here. They need to be winning fights with Huskar. That's just not happening. They even glimpsed that Huskar out of the picture as he tried to TP on mid. He's not in this fight.
Xiao has to use his mech right now. Still has the Ravage ready to go. They're chasing after, and they missed the Sleight of Fist searing chains, and N will make it out. And they take every Ancient.
Going in on the backside, but they can bring him down. He's on his own.
Hard Splitter's coming through. Will it hit? It misses. They're still going to work. Pounds down the Sleight of Fist searing chains. Yang in trouble. They get the silence off into N as well, but he's already Shadow Bladed up.
Oh, he wants to go for this. He's feeling brave. End is running over LGD. Still has the Aegis.
What a double. He wants more. He's going to run back in. Sep has to rolling boulder away. MMY, he's going to get chased down. The Pounce doesn't hit, but the Echo Saber slow. He's going to have to grave himself. They don't have Yang to Calling Blade. They will chase this down.
Essence Chip stacks Mont. He's got 40 almost here. He's diving them to the tier 3.
He's going
Somebody stop this man.
The rolling boulder only saves Sep at the tail end of the engagement, but End is going hard. He's got 2,000 gold, 42 Essence Chip stacks when it's all said and done. What a play from that Slark.
My God. Okay, so the real big play there was actually the glimpse back from DDC.
Yes.
Suddenly, Huskar is separated from the team. He runs right by 3 heroes. LGD are forced to run in and try to help them, but it's a completely disorganized fight. So End went really hard there, but we have to give credit where credit is due, and that is, again, just incredible disruptor play from both of these teams.
He's looking for more. He's sitting around that tier 2 tower, and Sep does not feel comfortable anywhere else other than just straight and true sight vision, making sure he is safe. Xiao will venture out forward, and he'll be first contact. He still has that Ravage. He did not use it in that last engagement. That is frightening.
Yeah, that was a rare mistake from Xiao 8. Out very far at the Ancients. The team was not really near him. They were up like on the high ground of their side of the jungle. They were coming to help, but you know, one of those moments where you don't think it's a big deal. You're trying to pull ahead and, you know, get that economic advantage, but he just got punished. The Silver Edge, meaning no Kraken Shell, and just much easier to deal with.
maybe has picked up his Battle Fury on top with another Perseverance, so he is starting to get farmed, and he needs it for his team. But there is still a 7,500 almost net worth advantage going in the way of VGR, and they're looking to continue
By the way,
it.
there's an Alchemist in this game, guys.
Yeah.
No has been a complete non-factor for like 12 minutes or more, just farming. VG Gaming Reborn, he helped them take the Roach. That was the big thing he did, and tanked a gank perhaps, but essentially they've been playing 4v5. When Alch comes online, LGD are going to have a really hard time dealing with him.
There's just not enough damage from them yet for LGD. They really need to hit a Crucial Ravage on top of the fact that they have to get some really good damage from Aggressive before he gets graved and hopefully not Culling Bladed down by the Axe.
I like the itemization as well, picking up a Blade Mail. They actually, with the items they built, yeah, sure, the heroes aren't amazing against Huskar. The spin is decent, as the analyst panel brought up, because it is pure damage.
Yep.
The chop's not too bad. But the big thing is really the Silver Edge on end and the Blade Mail on the Axe. That allows them to kill Huskar pretty reliably. If he's out of position, if the Dazzle graves too late, it's not going to matter if you're low enough to be in the chop threshold. So it's not looking like an easy game. And this is where maybe is going to have to take over. He has completed the Battle Fury. He works towards what I imagine will be a Lincoln Sphere next. But still a Blink Call puts him in harm's way. It'll help him against the Glimpse to set up a kill, but by no means is this an easy game to farm as an Ember. And even if you get farmed, are you really going to outcarry this lineup late? VGR have incredible late game support.
With Natural Order especially, like you talked about. This is just going to get more and more difficult for LGD down the road. And maybe this is going to be an exercise in fast fingers for him to get out with those calls available, with Static Storm on top of that. It is not going to be easy for him to avoid these ganks, but we've seen him do crazier things before. And both Aggressive and him have shown that they are very, very, very strong Ember Spear players.
Yeah, the pace of the game to me favoring VGR right now, being allowed to free farm on a Slark. He roams all over the map. Alchemist unchecked, now getting a Yasha. And some decent Aghanims here. There's another pick potentially and looking for it, but maybe we'll Remnant out. Still though, it's maybe running away. It's the Slark applying pressure. And I think most importantly, you see these 4 LGD heroes just grouped up in the mid lane. Meanwhile, look at how spread out VGR. They're farming all over the map, and LGD know it. They can't just trade farm like this when only one hero is getting anything. They're going to smoke. And
LGD put so much money towards sentries here in this mid lane. Yes, they'll be able to smoke without, of course, knowing that there is no vision from VGR there, but still, VGR, look at their positioning. They seem to understand that this is happening.
Map hack activated.
Yeah, they have a good feeling. I don't think they even use their scan, but I'm pretty sure they absolutely know that this is happening. At least they're staying together at the very least.
Yeah, they used it a bit earlier, but not exactly when the smoke was happening. That's just good map awareness and Radiant Scan almost catching Yang.
Almost there, but not quite.
By process of elimination, you pretty much know they're either huddled in the base, or they're at the towers, or they're in this bottom side of the map.
The Elder Titan, I think, saw Aggressive when the smoke broke with the Spirit. I'm not sure. It came through, but they pinged it out. They know that there's somebody over there at the very least.
This is just not enough fighting for LGD's tastes. Running a Huskar, going for the standard Huskar build, snowbally items that really reward you for constantly skirmishing, armlet, picking up a Heaven's Halberd, now grabbing another Ogre Club with the Dominator. Ember, yeah, going for more of a farming build, but even a mech on Xiao 8. These are just not heroes that really have a plan B, to be fair, yeah. But not finding consistent fights and kills is really bad for LGD.
FY is going to run right into Aggressive. There's going to be the life break coming through. This might be the first fight that they need, or a first kill that they need to start things off. And Stable Concoction hits nicely onto 2. Rolling Boulder coming through as well. And they won't be able to find anybody further here
they just want to get out.
VGR. They're keeping away. Good Boulder smash from Seth.
That's huge. Are they going to reinitiate on this? The Ouch dropping low. He gets gushed. He's down. That is a big pile of net worth to be given away. That one death, 1,500 net worth, Swain. LGD need kills. They finally get some there, and Sep stepping up.
Yeah, that's a perfect Boulder smash to stop that TP coming out from the Alchemist.
Yeah. Then they hold on to the Ravage. Maybe Xiao 8 would have got it off in time if the Boulder smash wasn't quick enough, but...
It's the perfect time for a Ravage too, as Roche is respawning in 20 seconds. Still no Alch for 35. They can take it decently well. They have the Medallion, they have the Huskar with the right click, but it's not quickly enough. Meanwhile, Ensiri chains up. He's going to get Gush. He uses the Shadow Blade. Still has that Shadow Dance ready to go. The Ravage misses! He whiffs it. Xiao 8, no Ravage now. They need to back, I think. They're going to be a counter initiated on by VG Gaming Reborn.
Alch is up in 15, so they are still 5v4, but Tide isn't much of a hero with the mech on cooldown. The Ravage as well. There's the Glimpse.
Static Storm is up. They're going to jump it. Stop onto 2. The Earth Splitter will come through. Aggressive
And he's on the back lines. He's working on MMY, but MMY does get off the self-grave. That means Aggressive is the real target.
Call comes through. It's down to 2. Xiaowei now caught with the blade mill on top. Stop coming in. Aggressive blow. They have the calling blade, but Yang gets stunned up. They need the damage. They get off the mech perfectly timed.
They can't kill this Dazzle. Somehow he lives and forced to TP out. He's not going to make it. LGD. How do they keep on fighting back from what looked like really difficult deficits after blowing huge cooldowns on nothing? I think VGR got a little overeager there. They saw Ravage on cooldown, but they're still walking in 4v5. They committed a lot on the Dazzle, didn't kill him. Then they tried to commit a lot on the Huskar, didn't kill him. And by the time that all reset, Grave was back up. They had lost a couple of their squishier heroes. Just not executed as well in these fights, Mod.
It's just utilizing the Shadow Wave and the mech so well. You saw Xiaowei get it off there at the tail end when it looks like it was going to be a calling blade.
The Dazzle is very big here, the lead.
They just couldn't chew it through anybody. In the MMY Grave, I thought that might have been a mistake. They didn't have the Grave on Aggressive, but they didn't need it. He was just able to survive through all of that. Now they're going to try to go for Roche. FY is going to set the Spirit in, but look at maybe on the hut. Remnant forward. He's going to get the damage. Can he get the Searing Chains off as well?
He finds him there? Are you serious, maybe? FY is like, what the hell, man?
He had a haste rune, I think, for a fair bit. Maybe is easily able to bring him down in FY. He just wanted to scout, but instead, he's going to feed away not only the Aegis, but his life on top of that.
Well, they needed maybe to come up big, and big he is coming up right now. 7-1-8. Whew. What a series he's having.
I feel like we expect so much from this guy, and he always constantly
delivers.
They have
Aggressive. This guy threw the entire CDEC team on his back at TI and carried them to second place, and it feels like maybe it's just doing all the work here down the stretch, but this is certainly a team effort, and when one player falters, the other will step up. But now Aggressive is back in the saddle. He's managed to complete the Dragon Lance. This is a great tower sieging item.
Not to mention the stats that you get. The armor, he's got 23 right now. He's got the extra strength on top of that. Gets him to 2.1k without the armlet toggled. So he's got tons of armor. He's got tons of damage. He's got tons of HP. So now Aggressive is going to be that force that he maybe wasn't in the early stages of this game, LD.
They're going full tank mode here. Standard for the Huskar. The Dazzle even getting a Ghost Scepter. No Diffusal Blade in sight. This will prove to be a big nuisance. He's dunking FY.
Right under the tier 3 tower. Xiaowei walking in. The Gush will come through. There's the Earth Splitter. They have Grave ready to go. The Earth Splitter will hit. He's going to get low, but he's got the Aegis. Not that concerned, and they do get the kill with the Burning Spears on top. FY will fall, and looking to engage as well. Now another life breaking. He's going to have to go further into the base. He's so low. Now the Ravage whiffing again from Xiaowei. This time not hitting it, maybe not expecting the acid spray.
Silver Edge back onto Aggressive. They've removed that passive.
Static Storm. The Aggressive gets the Grave off. He still has the Aegis, by the way, so even if he dies, if he gets off enough damage, it's more than worth it. He will finally go down. First life gone. Now jumping in is maybe he's got the real damage here. No getting low. The Chemical Rage isn't going to be enough.
Boy, Xiaowei, you sure wrote an exciting script, whipping 2 Ravages.
What a call!
Keeping it interesting, but Huskar chunking them down in the front lines, moving on to end. All of a sudden, that Superstar Slark is looking rather easily dealt with. LGD, they don't need Xiaowei. They're doing it anyway.
Yang comes in with a 3-man call at the end. They still can't get the damage done in order to win that engagement. LGD, they do it again. Yes, they lose the Aegis. They might need to be careful here.
Now, they haven't gotten racks yet. They haven't forced buybacks. It's not totally catastrophic for VGR, but losing Nono again, that could be the difference maker. Force that back.
The Spear's going down, but he's got Chemical Rage. Look at the spins. Yang gets 1. He might get 2. The tower will finish him off.
Ember trying to clean them up. He can't do it. LGD, they have been denied, and now DDC, he's going to look for the glimpse around the trees.
Good ward. Glimpse back. They get it.
He actually made it out, but the glimpse brings him back in. MMY getting a taste of his own medicine, and DDC makes him swallow a very bitter pill there.
So I think they got a bit too aggressive. They were diving behind towers. They could have focused buildings maybe instead of going so much further. They really wanted that Alchemist though.
They need better Ravages. I mean, you can't whip 2 Ravages in a row and not expect VGR at some point are going to punish. That's pretty obvious, but it shows you how strong LGD are at that stage of the game, that they whiff 2 Ravages. It seems like they're actually straight up winning the fight, but the net result, Mod, is they don't get racks. They don't take that critical objective. They lose the Aegis. They lose most of their cores. Only the Ember surviving. Xiaowei's got to come up a bit bigger. Maybe his Blink Dagger getting canceled a few times, just getting caught off guard. The one, he was a bit late. The Slark just barely out of range of the tentacles, but they need more out of the Director here.
And you are still up against an Alchemist who is farming very well. You're still up against a Slark whose late game potential is going to skyrocket. Maybe, obviously, with late game potential, he's got a lot of it, but still. I think at this point, VGR are very happy with how that went. Sure, they lost a lot of heroes in the engagement, but they showed that they have pretty good team fight of their own. They don't have Ravage, they have Static Storm, they have Call. The Axe has done really well for himself. Yang has been surviving a lot in these engagements, and Natural Order might be the critical ability for VGR down the road.
The big thing that VGR really need to work on, though, is this is the stage of the game where FY can't get caught. They need Natural Order when LGD are going high ground. They need the Earth Splitter, which is a percentage of your max HP. That's great to have against the Huskar. He can't die off the bat. So I think that's the big issue that we've seen from them is bottom lane, maybe, and then they're duking it out.
Sleight of Fist, maybe. Does he have a Remnant? Dark Pack will come through. He is going to Remnant away, but he did take a lot of damage in the process.
Yeah, he can't afford to be sloppy. And I don't think I've really seen a game where maybe has not had that backup Remnant when he's farming aggressively. Yeah. So just solid Ember play as you would expect. And it's getting bigger and bigger. There's the Daedalus on the Ember. It's going to be somewhat dealt with by a nice Eye of Scotty here on the Slark.
And Nono's back up to where he was pretty much last game. He has the Solar Crest on top of the fact that he also has the Manta, the Octarine, the Radiance. So
even goes for the Octarine again with the Manta, so the full farming Alchemist build. What is he going to go for heading later? As far as the Aghanim Scepters upgrades go, Disruptor probably the big one.
The best one, I think, yeah.
I think would
might be
really
good too.
be huge here.
And that Disarm from Elder Titan is definitely not bad against the Ember Spirit.
Elder Titan could be maybe even better than the Disruptor. I would say those are the two big ones. The Axe Chop is quite cute, but normally you're counting your Axe to actually hit that first chop.
He is third in
not
line.
needing the cooldown.
He is third in line for an Axe upgrade, I believe. And that is only looking towards the very late game. If he wants to even go for the Aghanim Scepter, he might go for other items first. I've seen, Butterflies for Alchemists before. The AC has been picked up. Shivas, which is what we saw last game. So there's a lot of options for Nono to go. He even picked up a Blink Dagger so he can initiate better and move around in fights and look for those pickoffs.
If he can follow up a Call with a fully charged Unstable Concoction, that's a devastating team fight. That's a huge amount of lockdown, but it really just banks on the Axe hitting his initial Call. And so far, Yanni's been on point. Can he continue to be so?
Ooh, the Remnant. Do they have the range? Force Blink Call. They're going to find it. Unstable Concoction on top. No Grave is there. They will lose him for 78 seconds. He has no buyback, and they get the glimpse onto Xiaowei.
The director's called out. LGD. Xiaowei. He might drop here again. Yang's got the chop. He lets it go. Decapitates him once more. He has the buyback. They don't know Ember is lacking it, though. He could well have it at this point.
They have tier 2s as well.
They may try to force it, though. At the very least, more objectives for Vici Gaming Reborn. Man, that was so unfortunate. Xiaowei had just blinked away to go towards mid at the exact moment when they jumped the Ember, so there was really nothing he could do there to save him. Timing just awful for LGD, but Vici Gaming Reborn, credit where it's due. They punished, and they got the follow-up kill. Disruptor has just been, for me, like top 2, top 3 supports of this patch.
Yeah. Especially in the right hands as well.
To be fair, they make him look like a superhero.
Yep. It's just the skill level of the players at this level. And VGR making it look good currently. You still have 2 tier 2s taken. They don't force out the buyback from the Tidehunter. They don't see that the Ember Spirit doesn't have it, so they don't pressure into that tier 3 tower. But I think this is the right play. You get 2 tier 2s on top of 2 very important kills. You set up later for when Roshan does respawn. And VGR, they continue to hold this game out evenly.
Yeah, I mean, this time around where they struggle to deal with the late game Invoker, this game they have the Slark, and I do not see a harder carry on paper in any sort of man fight. For LGD to deal with the Slark, it requires great team coordination. They don't have a hero that can just snowball and take over like the Invoker on his own. Ember can chip, can prod, but he can't solo kill a Slark. He can't, on his own, instantly kill all these backline supports at this stage. It's going to be more of a team effort from LGD this time around, and we'll have to see if they can pull it together. Still, we haven't really seen Xiaowei able to get any Ravages off. He whiffed 2, and then the poor guy, he hasn't had a chance now for, what, like 10, 15 minutes?
It goes back to that dive under the tier 1 tower, like maybe 10 minutes into the game, where he walks in and Ravages on 2 supports that were going to die anyways.
Yeah, it started off great. It started off with like a Killer Instinct, very nice early game Ravage that sets up big objectives. Good dire scan here, though. It does see LGD.
Right on top of where LGD are situated, and of course VGR are going to back up, stay together as a squad. Top lane is pushing in, which forces maybe to TP up and deal with this creep wave and push it out, which will give him some extra farm to work with, but now he is alone from the rest of his team, and VGR are grouping up.
Big items this time. We're going to see an AC on the Alk. Will help them for Roche, will help them against the Ember a lot. And I think more importantly, Travis, it's the double BKB LGD don't have answers for BKBs, aside from the late game Tide Refresher, if you can just outlast them and then drop the Ravages. But in the mid game, BKBs are just, they basically make these cores gods if they can pop them off.
These 10-second BKB durations will be huge for both End and Yang. On the Slark and the Axe in these fights, so we'll see.
See the power of the Slark here, just constantly taking advantage of Shadow Dance to D-Ward. One of the very underrated aspects of that hero as a carry. Kind of like Spectre, just giving you vision for your team.
Rosha bowed up in a minute here, but
they're
here's the Shadow Blade Silver Edge, and they're going to find a fight. Blink Ravage, it's on to 2. Not the best start, but now the call. Yang has to pop the BKB. Gets the call up in the end. He might actually be in trouble. TPing out.
Working on aggressive here. He needs help. MMY has the grave. Holding on to it, holding on to it. There's no X chop just yet. Looking for it. They can't quite find it. Aggressive stays alive, but N just turned back for Xiaowei. He's going to kill off the Tidehunter instead.
There's the Yule Scepter now, and looking for more. The kinetic field is down. Unstable Concoction goes, see you later. No grave this time. MMY cannot save him. He can't save himself.
And the glimpse. They find MMY2. TP out. No, says no. You're coming right back. It's 4 down with VGR truly looking reborn here as they march down mid, trying to force that game 3.
There's no buybacks. They're really close on Xiaowei.
There's no Ravage either. This is Rax, surely.
It must be. End's going to walk up to the high ground right now. 29 Essence shift stacks. He hits very hard and very quickly.
Ember split pushing, but maybe there's a tier 2 blocking his path. He's not cutting the wave. BG Gaming Reborn, that's 1 lane. They're looking for 2.
They go right to the tier 3 tower. The Glyph will come out. They have buyback for Xiaowei, but still no aggressive for 28 seconds, and he is not close to buyback.
That tower drops. The melee Rax is next. BG Gaming Reborn. What a clutch performance it has been down the stretch here. They get the second melee. They're not going to play greedy and go for the range Rax, knowing that heroes are respawning. Sure, there's no Ravage, but why risk it? There's a Roshan to grab, Travis. Right to the pit. That's where they're headed.
2 melee Raxes, 2 tier 3 towers, a huge team fight going their way, and Roshan on top of that. LGD,
look at that graph. Not so much the drop as far as gold goes, just like 20 red dots in a row at the bottom right corner. That tells the story of that last fight pretty nicely.
They've garnered an advantage over the past 10 to 20 minutes, and they have kept that advantage up the entire time. They've got the right items. They've itemized well. They have not lost an engagement. Sure, Xiaowei missed it. They're looking for him. They're looking for Xiaowei. They can't quite find him, but the Glimpse will come back. They have the call on top of it. Unstable Concoction. Xiaowei is dead. Still no buyback.
He has it in 50 gold, but that's roughly about his respawn timer. I don't think it leads to another lane because they have to push these lanes out, but again, it's more just a concern that Xiaowei, normally a very clutch player in big stage matches, he's not coming up big for them here.
He is having some rough Ravages. He's having a rough game in general, getting caught out in bad positions, missing Ravages twice, 3 times. We've talked about it enough already, and Xiaowei is now down for 60 seconds. Yes, he has it soon with the buyback, but VG, they just find another kill on top of already getting the Aegis. They're just losing too much. They're getting too far behind for LGD.
And now it's just harder for Tide to have an impact at this point because he's died. Even if he hits a perfect Ravage, you've got BKBs on the cores. Alchemist could potentially even buy one for himself if he's worried about it, but he's so tanky, he probably won't die anyway. They're also just farmed and leveled enough where they're not going to die instantly during a Ravage, and LGD don't really have single target burst. Yeah, Daedalus on Ember, but that's still more spread damage with Cleave than it is instantly killing off any one target. So if you don't kill those targets during the Ravage, all of a sudden Alk is healing up, they can reset with the Slark ultimate, he's got Cheese as well, they have the Aegis to work with. The fight is just it's gonna be like the Ravage never happened because of how far behind they are at this stage.
And it's so hard to keep the waves pushed out too. It's not like the Ember Spirit can just split push because you have an Alchemist with the Manta-style Octarine core continuously sending illusions to other lanes. He's keeping the waves pushed out. They have the mid lane pushed out. They have the top lane pushed out. Maybe he's doing what he can down bottom, but he's not close to that tier 3 tower, and so there's plenty of time.
And diving. He's thinking about it.
Backing up in a way was aggressive
just
in time.
Look at this positioning from DDC. If anybody pokes their head down like past the very tip of the ramp.
There's an Ags on the Disruptor. They gifted it to him.
Yeah, this glimpse back could be really devastating. Let's see if Disruptor gets the big play once more. They leave Slark in front, and the siege begins.
Just send the illusions in and just go to work. They've already gotten the tier 2 tower. Maybe he's forced back to clear out their creep wave mid. And VGR, they don't have to really go right now. They can wait as long as they want.
Let the mid lane push. Bottom lane will push naturally. Ember can maybe BOT out and chip at some of these lanes, try to get the equilibrium slightly more favorable, but VGR, they've got tons of time here. 3 minutes with that Aegis.
More actuals coming through. Sleight of Fist.
Can he scout out these heroes in the tree line? Often you will see Elder Titan players doing that. That would be really ugly for LGD. Would disable the blink on Xiao. They might even be able to just jump them at that point.
Yeah, the blink call would be there, I think, from the Axe. And they're just being patient with this. They just send the illusions in one by one.
He's looking for the multiple hero stomp, perhaps.
Boulder smash perfectly onto End, but he gets off the Dark Pack beautifully and then just pounces away.
Look for the stomp. Didn't find it on anyone important there. Everyone moved forward rather than back with the force type initiation.
Aggressive Yule's up right now. They're going to back away and pop to the BKB. Aggressive at half HP currently has the Lincoln Sphere on him. Now more Sleight of Fist coming through from Maybe, but nothing really being committed yet other than that BKB from End.
Didn't seem like the team was quite ready for that maneuver. I believe it was the Axe who pushed
I think so, yeah. Might have.
Actually, they have 3 force staffs. Might have been FY, as the Axe's force staff is more recently pulled out. But regardless, they weren't able to follow it up. They are down to start BKB. They're going to go anyway.
They're going to jump right in on that tier 3 tower. The Yules will come out again from Aggressive. They get the Static Storm on top of it. Again, it's an Aghanim Static Storm, so it's going to do a decent amount of damage, but Aggressive will be able to just tank through it. Now it comes through Ravage. That will hit onto 4. Can they get the damage done? Aggressive gets the Great Buff as well, but still no follow-up coming out from Maybe, or anyone for that matter.
Give me a chop, says yeah, and he gets one. Looking to end this game the way he's carried it. Dunking heroes all over the place. There's a buyback on the Huskar, though. Re-engaging.
He's going to look for a jump in. Actually gets glimpsed back to the well. He TP'd in.
FY, he used the Aegis earlier and just finessing his way through the LGD ranks, increasing the gold lead, a 2-hero stomp, and jumping in onto Aggressive there. There's the follow-up there, just don't want to risk it. They're trying to carefully siege this one. They know they have the Rax advantage. They know they still have an even scarier late game.
Only buyback right now for LGD is Maybe. If they kill Aggressive, they'll be in a great spot.
And there is no Ravage. I think they can force it here, Travis.
End is in the base right now. There's sentries down, but look at No going right in the unstable concoction. They have the Grave ready to go with the call, and they should get the chop through. Yang!
It's on cooldown, but still, I don't know if Aggressive makes it out of here. He dunks his way in. He heads home crying, down for 90. VGR clawing their way back in this best of 3. They are proving to be quite the test for LGD. Looks like they might be able to get the tower now. Yeah, Tide respawns, no Ravage for 75. It's an 80-second power play. Basically 3v5 without the Ravage. I don't see LGD stopping them any longer.
And No just walks right in. He's going to be aggressive enough to make sure they get this melee Rax as well as range down. It's going to be Megas here if they can get both range in the mid lane, which is super low, and then down bottom as well. They should be able to get Megas here, and they have no way of getting Aggressive back up for 58 seconds. Maybe can Sleight of Fist all he wants, but I don't know if that's going to be enough damage.
He buys the Rapier. All right, even if he gets the Rapier, though, you're up against Megas. You're up against buybacks. You're up against a 35,000 gold deficit.
And End is not done. He is looking for the wall. They just GG out. They buy the Rapier, and they say, we can't do anything.
And they lay down their sword. They put it back in the stone. VGR. What a resilient team. After the way they lost game 1, where it looked like it should have been theirs down the stretch, to bounce back against a veteran squad like LGD. Yes, there were mistakes. Xiao certainly going to be the one that gets flagged the most for them by a lot of the viewers at home, but VGR also punished that exceptionally hard.
I mean, we could talk about the Slark a lot and how well he played, but I think it was just extraordinarily strong team play coming out from VGR as a whole. All 5 players hitting the abilities they needed to hit. The Static Storms were there, the Stomps were there, the Earth Splitters were there, the Axe played phenomenally on top of it all. VGR looked incredibly strong in that game number 2, David.
Whew. Well, time to see how much that veteran leader